Colorado Springs is one of the fastest growing cities in the country, but what's it actually like to live there? So today, we're going to break down the ultimate guide from Flat Rate Realty Group and cover everything from housing costs to the best local vibes to give you the complete picture.
All right, let's just get right to it, shall we? The big question on everyone's mind is pretty simple. Is Colorado Springs a good place to live? Let's find out.
Here's how we're going to tackle this. We'll start with why everyone's so drawn to the city, then do a deep dive into housing, crunch the numbers on cost of living, explore the different neighborhoods, and finally wrap up with a clear step-by-step guide to making your move. Okay, first things first, what is the big deal with Colorado Springs? I mean, what's the magnetic pole that's making it such a hot spot right now? Well, let's start with a number that kind of tells the whole story. Over 480,000 people. To put that in perspective, the city's population has more than doubled since the early 2000s. We're not just talking about steady growth here. This is a straight-up population boom. So what's pulling everyone in? Well, it's pretty much the perfect storm, right? You've got a booming economy, a really high quality of life, and then, of course, that incredible outdoor recreation. It's this magic combination that's attracting literally everyone, from young pros just starting out to growing families and even retirees. Okay, let's be real. For most of us, the biggest question mark is always housing. So let's dig into the nitty-gritty of the market. What's out there and what's it going to cost you? So for anyone looking to buy, here's your baseline number. The median listing price in the Springs is sitting right around $435,000. That gives us a really solid starting point. And how fast are things moving? Well, homes are typically on the market for about 20 to 35 days. What that tells you is, yeah, it's competitive, but it's not so crazy that you can't catch your breath and actually find a place. But here's the stat that I think is a real game changer, especially for first-time buyers. Nearly a quarter of all homes for sale are priced under $300,000. That makes getting into the housing market a much more realistic goal here than in a lot of other places in Colorado. But hey, what if you're not looking to buy just yet? Let's talk about the rental scene. It's a huge part of the picture too. And the good news is it's a really healthy, active market. You'll find plenty of modern options, whether you're single or have a family, and the prices are pretty competitive. Okay, so we've seen the housing numbers, but how does that stack up in the grand scheme of things? Let's crunch all the numbers on the total cost of living and put Colorado Springs right up against its big, expensive neighbor, Denver. Honestly, this chart pretty much tells the whole story. If the U.S. average is 100 on the scale, Colorado Springs is just a tiny bit above at 104. But then you look at Denver. It's all the way up at 130. That is a massive difference you'll feel in your wallet every single day. And here's exactly where those savings come from. Look at this. The median home is over 150 grand cheaper than in Denver. Your rent, you could be saving $400 a month. And your commute, you get almost 20 minutes of your life back every day. You add all that up over a year, and it's just huge. All right, so we've seen that the numbers can definitely work. But a city isn't just about spreadsheets and budgets, right? It's about finding your community, your vibe. So let's explore what it actually feels like to live in the Pikes Peak region. And one of the coolest things is just how diverse the neighborhoods are. You know, if you want that classic family-friendly suburb with amazing schools, you've got a place like Briargate. If you're more into historic charm and walking to little shops and cafes, Old Colorado City is your spot. And if you just want some land and space to yourself, there's Black Forest. It really feels like there's a place for pretty much everyone. And you know, no matter where you end up living, this is your backyard. We're talking about being just minutes away from world-famous spots like Garden of the Gods, Pikes Peak, Seven Falls. I mean, having that kind of epic nature right on your doorstep is a huge part of the city's identity. That's why so many people fall in love with it. Okay. Let's say you're sitting there thinking, all right, I'm in. The numbers work, the lifestyle is perfect. So, now what? That brings us to our final and most important section, your step-by-step guide to actually making the move. Look, buying a home can feel totally overwhelming. I get it. But really, it's just a series of steps. It all kicks off with getting your finances in order, figure out your budget, get that pre-approval. Then the really fun part starts, deciding what you want and hitting the listings. From there, you find the one, you make an offer, go through inspections, and then you close. It's a clear path that leads right to your new front door. And hey, this isn't just some abstract idea. Just take the Millers who moved here recently. They said the whole thing was smooth and affordable, which are two words you don't always hear when it comes to buying a house, right? They found a home they absolutely loved, and, as you're about to see, they even got some cash back at the end of it all. So how'd they manage that? It's through something called a buyer's rebate program. Basically, it's a program where, if you qualify, you can get a chunk of the home's purchase price back as cash when you close. So on a $400,000 home, for example, that could be $2,000 right back in your pocket. I mean, who wouldn't want that? So there you have it. You've got affordability, a lifestyle that's pretty hard to beat, and a clear, straightforward path to get there. It really just boils down to one final question that only you can answer. Is Colorado Springs your next move?